What's poppin', yo? You know it's bad when your arrest as a rapper is being reported on live iPhone video by another rapper, which is the case of what we saw with Boosie when Lil Reese was getting arrested in Los Angeles. I'm going to play the video clip for you guys first of Lil Boosie.
Hey, I'm at the hotel downtown. They just took Lil Reese to jail. He came out handcuffed. They had all his bags. So if anybody, Lil Reese people, y'all need to check on him. They just took him to jail. Some dude came down, some woman lied on him or some shit. So any Lil Reese people, the Grim Reaper people, they just took him to jail downtown LA and put him in a coffin. Y'all need to tap in with y'all people.
So as you guys just heard, he said the Grim Reaper is getting arrested. I don't know if you're his people or whatever the case may be. Boosie just being at the right place at the right time frequently now. It's kind of like we're just seeing him as a character that just pops up in different places. After doing a little bit of digging, we find out that this arrest was not so great. So Lil Reese was arrested for alleged RAPE, and it said he's facing serious allegations. He's accused of this in LA, where police took him into the custody. According to law enforcement, Lil Reese went on a date with a woman, and following dinner, he and the woman went back to downtown LA hotel where Reese allegedly insisted they have sex. Cops say the woman rebuffed Reese's advances before he allegedly forced himself on her and took it. We're told the woman then went straight down to the hotel lobby and called the police around 3:30 a.m. Sunday. We're told officers arrived on the scene and arrested Reese on suspicion of SA and rape, which is an insane level of, she did what everyone says to always do. Hey, don't waste no time. Why don't you go to the police? She went straight downstairs, called the police. Same night. And Lil Reese goes on his Twitter and says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cap emojis. Big 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cap emojis. So he's letting y'all know this is big cap. And then he says, on my sister Riri, the whole story cap, and I made up. F I look like. This ain't that, I know better. And the same way y'all posting that ish, make sure y'all post the case get thrown out on my court date. They do anything for clout and trying to come up, try again. We'll definitely post if this case gets thrown out during his court date. When people say on my kids, on my son, on my mama, they've lied so many times. And for someone to say on my sister, I feel like they care about his sister less than they care about their kids. So I'm thinking, okay, this guy's definitely trying to get out of the lie. He's putting up the sister. He's like, I could do with losing my sister, but my kids is something else. So I've seen individuals lie so many times, they just say on my anything for any statement that they make without even thinking of what's coming out of their mouth. The issue with this, though, is Lil Reese doesn't really do himself any favors, because one of the most famous clips of Lil Reese is him just letting off an onslaught. Like, for example, how if some people, they have these cardio boxing classes now. It's a very popular thing. And then they just let people hit the bags. And they're like, okay, hit the bag as many times as you can, last 30 seconds. That level of ferocity is what Lil Reese rained down on a young woman on video cam. Lil Reese, he was punching her so fast, I couldn't even count how many punches it was. That's one of the most popular clips of Lil Reese. Granted, this was 12 years ago, maybe 13 years ago. Perhaps Lil Reese has changed since then, right? That's certainly a possibility, but that's the image in my mind that I have of Lil Reese. And then I think to myself, is someone that is capable of this also capable of what he's being accused and arrested for? When this woman went to the police immediately, it's not like she's saying, oh, Lil Reese took my cat 6 months ago, 6 years ago. This happened the same night. I'm inclined to not jump to Lil Reese's side. I'm just inclined to say, okay, I'm like scratching the back of my head, like, yo, Lil Reese, I can't get in front of this one, man. It's not looking too hot. You're going to have to spank that in court for anybody with a couple of brain cells to believe you're innocent. And this just goes back to the point of, it's very important, the reputation and the precedence for the reputation the precedence you set for your reputation. In this case, yeah, Lil Reese was young, but hey, a lot of people were young, and they weren't sending that chick to Pound Town, not the Sexy Red type of Pound Town, like he did in that video so long ago. The question is, how's Lil Reese affording to stay in downtown LA in a hotel? That's the real question, because wasn't he living in some suburb in Illinois, outside of Chicago? Granted, I will say that Lil Reese was just on Twitter getting into some crypto coins that he was pumping. So they probably got a little smooth bag. He probably ran up a smooth bag the past 2 weeks. And he said, hey, let me go out to LA. That's probably what happened, actually. He ran up a little bag off of that. And this is where I wouldn't say I feel bad for Lil Reese at all. Maybe his situation when it comes to, because Lil Reese is not relevant for music. Lil Reese hasn't transformed himself into a personality like King Yella and a bunch of these other Chicago people have. Lil Reese isn't a producer. Lil Reese isn't a digital artist. I don't know what Lil Reese does. For the past 6+ years, we haven't seen much from Lil Reese. And they're calling this guy the Groom Reaper now. Whoever came up with that, that's crazy. I'm obviously not co-signing that. The best thing for Lil Reese, though, in this situation is that barely anybody cares about his name. So this isn't really going to travel far. So if he spanks this in court, people probably won't know that he beat it in court, but most people probably won't even know that he got this case in the first place. So that's one of the perks of being, I wouldn't say the word is irrelevant, but not too many people being concerned with what's going on around you. Because he hasn't given us much to be concerned about. But that's all I've got to say about the situation. Hopefully for Lil Reese's sake, he beats this in court and didn't commit this, but I'm hard-pressed to believe that's the case. And keep in mind, Lil Mosey, for instance, everybody was not against Lil Mosey. Yeah, most of the industry was against Lil Mosey. Most of these rappers were against Lil Mosey. And he ended up beating the case. People also couldn't use the she was not drunk. She was clout-chasing move because they hid the identity, went to the police, did all that. That situation was very complicated. If I had to guess, it was likely that I guess they wanted to get with Lil Mosey or like it was another friend of Lil Mosey's that was the perpetrator or the alleged perpetrator that they were really, really not upset with, but they felt like took advantage of them. And Lil Mosey, like I said years ago, he's never been able to recover from the damage that caused his career. And think about how much money it was to defend himself. The news of him beating it didn't travel as far as the news of him having the case. So there are probably a ton of people that when they hear the name Lil Mosey, especially that knew him in passing, think of that case and don't even know that he beat it. They probably still just throw that on his reputation. And granted, it's partially your responsibility to make sure that everyone knows that and everyone puts that message out there. But with Lil Reese, he's not at his peak like Lil Mosey was when that happened. So he doesn't have anything to worry about. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace.